Good afternoon. We're going to start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Joy Mackenzie Furbringer. Then we'll open up to questions for Coach Jenna Giambi and Miranda Kanes. Coach, go ahead.
Tough weekend for the beach. I was hoping after last night's loss that our team would have responded differently today, but kudos to Bakersfield, and also kudos to Bakersfield. They had a good game plan against us. They made us do some things that we were uncomfortable with, and we took a while to adjust. We did do some adjustments, but just couldn't get into our rhythm. And so, again, kudos to Bakersfield and Cal Poly last night. Cal Poly did the same thing. They had a good game plan. They made us do some things that we were uncomfortable doing, and we just didn't make adjustments.
Questions for Coach?
Good afternoon, Joy. All right, so obviously this was a tough loss, but did you find any silver linings to today and yesterday's loss by chance?
I think for us it's going back to the drawing board, getting some kids healthy. I think we'll get a couple kids back this week, which will help us in the gym, and we've got to go back and learn from these losses. So I guess the silver lining is back to the drawing board, and hope we get a couple players that can help us out there on the court.
Your offense was pretty balanced today. What can you say about your offense and how it was pretty much even in most of the aspects, whether it was outside hitter, right side hitter, or middle?
I thought we got good offense out of our middles. Both middles were effective, made Bakersfield pay attention to them a little bit. I just thought, the distribution was good. We just didn't get good sets and tempo to our pins and get them open. And again, kudos to Bakersfield. I thought they did a really good job blocking.
Bakersfield being in its first year in the Big West Conference, how big of a win do you think this is for them? And what do you think the adjustments will be when you face them, even though you're not going to look at them too far along the road?
I think from their reaction, it was a big win. I think it was something that they didn't expect. And, down the road, for us, it's just, we got to go back to the drawing board and we got to work harder in the gym. We got to get a couple healthy bodies back and see if they can contribute.
Dylan De La Cruz, I saw her playing some setter. What can you say about the versatility from her and how she could play not only defensive specialist, but setter and libero as well?
Yeah, Dylan's a great ball control kid and knows the game. She brings us a lot of experience in the setting position, in the passing, and defensively. So, Dylan is just a big asset for us. We didn't go in expecting Dylan to do a lot of setting because we thought we had that covered in that position, but with a couple people out, we've kind of tried to adjust, and Dylan's, like I said, is a good volleyball player. She can adjust to anything.
And what were some positives that you found in tonight's match despite the loss?
Again, I guess I'll just repeat. I thought we had some good play out of our middles. I thought in the fourth we responded a little bit better than we did in the third and started competing. In the third, what I thought is we didn't respond very well. We got quiet. But the fourth, I saw a little bit of fire. I thought we were going to get that fourth and take it to 5, but unfortunately couldn't close that out.
And the next up is Cal State Fullerton. That's pretty much one of your longtime rivals. What's it going to take to defeat the Titans here in the Pyramid? And have you studied a little film on them as of late?
We have not studied film. I've watched a little bit because they did play Bakersfield. They beat them, I believe, in 4. And both teams are very scrappy. They're good at what they do. So, it's any team that we go against in the Big West is going to be a challenge for us. We're going to have to play at a higher level than we are now.
All right, thank you, Joy.
We have freshman Jenna Giambi, defensive specialist. Any questions for Jenna?
Good afternoon, Jenna. So, obviously, this was a tough loss for you all, losing to Bakersfield and losing your second in a row. What do you think some silver linings or positives you can take away from this game going into next week are?
I know one thing we were talking about in the locker room as soon as we got back in there is just having that spark. And I think that's one thing we were missing tonight. So I know definitely we want to have like more talks as a team and just kind of get that spark going again and like that fire, because we started to get it in the fourth set, but by then it was already too late. So as long as we start that off like as soon as we start the game, then I think we'll really grow from that.
You were getting subbed in and rotating quite a bit with Kashana. Like, what was going through your head knowing that you were going to have to dig balls and serve tough against a talented Bakersfield team?
Yeah, anytime I get to go in, I guess, like, Cash is an amazing player, but I love going in for her and, like, being able to help out the team. So I think anytime I go in, I just want to, like, do whatever I can for the team, especially that one on game point. I was like, oh, I got to come in right now and just do what I can. So, yeah, I have a lot of fun out there. I enjoy the team a lot, and, yeah.
Obviously, you as a defensive specialist, you look up to certain players. Like, what can you say about Nicole and how she was just digging everything left and right?
Yeah, I love playing next to Nicole. She's an amazing teammate. She constantly, like, helps you out on the court, tells you what to do, is, like, amazing. So it's really nice to play next to her and have her get all those balls because it makes my job easier. So, yeah, I love playing with her.
And then you all dropped both games in your conference openers. Like, what do you think the team needs to do in order to adjust and go forward? Because you have a big week coming up with, I think, 3 matches.
Yeah, I think we're really excited for this next week, and I think we kind of need to take the weekend to, like, reset our minds, reset whatever we need to do on the court, and use these 2 last games as, like, a learning experience. We need to figure out what went wrong, and we need to figure out what we can do to win these games, because we know we can. So, yeah.
And then Fullerton comes into town on Tuesday. It's a Tuesday match, and you've already played one of those Tuesday matches. Like, what's it going to take to defeat the Titans and get your first conference win?
I think it's going to take everyone coming together on the court. I think when we all come together, like, one of our new things we started is, like, everyone holding on to the huddle. I think that's a really good thing we started, and as long as we're all out there, all playing together, I think we could win.
Senior middle blocker, Miranda Kanes. Any questions for Miranda?
Good afternoon, Miranda. Obviously, this was a rough loss for you all. Like, what do you think your team did correctly that you could take into next week as you have some big matches against some big-time opponents?
Kind of just going back to what Jenna said, when we started our pregame talk with Matt, he said holding the huddle. So just even if it's not a volleyball aspect, just coming together as a team, I think we did a better job at that. And just trying to, anything in that huddle, just to go and use that energy to go and fight on the court.
Since 1, 2, and 4 were fairly close, as it was decided by less than 5 points, what do you think there are things that your team can tweak in order to win those close sets and not put yourself in a precarious situation?
One thing that we always are working on in practice is just serve, receive, and just serving. You can win games by serving well, and we're always going to keep pushing to get teams out of system and just going back to the drawing board and working on our serving.
What do you think Bakersfield did on their side of the net as opposed to you all to win the match?
I think that they stuck to their game plan pretty well, whatever that was. It took us a little to start adjusting to that, so going back in, coming with Fullerton, just learning the game plan, knowing it ahead of time, and just from the very first point, start sticking with it.
The offense was balanced today as you, Kashana, Katie, Erica, and Cameron all had some good kills, and you basically paced the team. What can you say about the offense and how you all were distributive?
I think it was nice to, obviously, Cash can kill a ball. I mean, we've seen her, she's amazing. But it's nice to be able to kind of, with the other team, fooling them, like getting the other people involved. It just makes them not have Cash carry so much weight. We all can help her carry that weight.
And then Tia obviously was distributing the ball, and even she was taking a few swings. What can you say about Tia and her leadership and how she was doing everything she can in order to help you all win?
I think it's really nice whenever we get to have Dylan come in set 2. I think first off it throws their blockers off because you just see little Dylan come in. But I think it was nice to have Tia swing because she can see the court very well. She's a very good player. And so it's always nice to have her be able to see what she sees and put the ball down for us when she can, setting or hitting.
All right, thank you, Miranda.
Thank you.